What's up, everybody? Paul Carl here. Today, in light of the sports card radio chasing cardboard drama, we're going to talk about authenticating autographs. And you want to do this yourself before you send in a card to be authenticated by like PSA or Beckett, or before you decide to, sell a card raw or buy a card raw. So these are kind of common sense things, I think, that you can do when you're trying to figure out if you think an autograph is real. And what I've done here is I got some autos from The Rock that are from PSA authenticated cards, and then one that is from the raw card that was a little suspect. And right off the bat, if you look at these autos, I think there's probably one that stands out as being different than all the rest. And I want to talk about why that is and kind of get into the details. So one thing that I want to point out first is if you're signing your name, if you think about it, like think about the motions that you do, even though the signature will come out different every single time, the motions are the same. And then what you would expect from those motions are going to be consistent, even though the exact output may differ a little bit. So like if I'm writing a P in Paul, they're very different here. By accident, a little more different than usual. But the thing that's the same is I start here and I go around and make my P. So if you see an auto where it's like backwards, then you could know that that P was not written by me, because I would have to go out of my way and like actively think like, oh, I'm gonna make this one tricky and do it backwards. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is because of this here, this K. This is like a sharp right angle, and it's got this weird little lip at the end. And if we look at all these other ones, these are the authenticated ones, spoiler. He does that part of the K, it's more of a C against that straight up and down line. Whereas here, it's like a hard right angle, and then this weird loop. So that stands out as weird to me. The other thing you can see is that there are patterns, and you can see basically where he's doing this loop around, there's this intersection here. And that intersection you can see is right here, and this one, it's like way back here. That's kind of weird. And then this one's right here. So they're all either on the line or to the left of the line, whereas here it's like past the line. It's very strange. And not only is that one past the line, but the loop, normally his loop, if you look at it, it goes like, it kind of loops straight off of it and underlines the C and the K. And this one, it kind of goes down a little bit. But the OCK here, because of the way this loop is too high, one. And then two, it doesn't just kind of come back up and underline the word like it does in all these other examples. Instead of crossing right here and underlining the O is too low, so you can't just go straight and underline it. And what the person who signed this did, they had to like go under the O. And then it looks like here, they're like, oh crap, I'm too close to the O. I have to like dodge it now, and I'm just gonna go here. Which is completely different than all these other ones. So that's a red flag for me too. Let's see, and the other thing that's interesting is, if you're drawing these little squiggles, let's pull up the full ones. You can kind of see, it's like, you see 1, 2 loops here, 1, 2. That one kind of had a third. 1, 2. Where's this one? 1, 2. And 1 and 2. And what I'm talking about, where's this? All right. I'm talking about these 1, 2. He goes, that's his habit. That's how he signs. He does just 2 little swoops. And then maybe in that case, he kind of has like this third, almost like a third little swoosh that kind of stands out. Here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the spacing just seems kind of weird between them. It stands out a little bit. But anyway, I just wanted to walk through like my interpretation of this and what I think you could do if you were trying to consider, if you got this rock card, are you going to pay to have someone authenticate it for you? Does it look like it could be real to you? Or does it not? And I think in this case, it looks like a pretty obvious fake to me as an amateur, just kind of using common sense and putting it next to some other examples and looking at these basic patterns. That's the approach that I take. And like with my Larry Bird card, I have a hand-signed Larry Bird auto. that I'm gonna eventually get authenticated. But this is the same process I did to see, like, all right, did some guy just forge Larry Bird's name, or does this look like it could be a real Larry Bird auto? And I looked at it, compared it exactly like I did here, and it looks legit to me. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the money to get it authenticated, so that either I can sell it or I can keep it in my collection. But let me know what you think. Do you do anything like this when you're buying raw autos? Do you even buy raw autos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.